Sets easily, and out of the blue, she lost one the other day, love 6.
Well, she's been a little streaky throughout this tournament, Kim Clijsters. She's much more sure of herself, though, than she was 2 years ago when she reached the finals against Jennifer Capriati. That was her big breakthrough year for Kim Clijsters. She would come back from a set and 4-2 down against Justine Henin-Ardenne in the semis. But in the final, Kim Clijsters came within 2 points of winning this championship 4 different times. Capriati, of course, had just won the Australian Open, the first major of the year, and the forehand would win it for her. But Kim Clijsters showed us that she's the real deal. And this year, she's much more of a complete player. She's been so consistent. She's had a phenomenal 9 months winning the season-ending championship. Should have beat Serena in Australia. And now she's playing the big points well. She's been a little streaky, so we'll look for the unforced errors today against Conchita Martinez.
Kim Clijsters will certainly be the more aggressive of the two. Conchita Martinez was a fixture in the quarterfinals and later at the majors for 10 years, starting in about 1990. She lost a bit of fitness, but she seems to be back.
Well, she had some injuries, kept her off the tour for about 6 months, and she almost retired about a year and a half ago, but now she is fitter. I talked to her coach, Patricia Tarabini, before the match, and she says she's got the belief that she can win this. She predicted in the beginning of the tournament that she would get to the quarterfinals, and here she is. She loves the clay. She's won 20 tournaments on this surface. She feels at home.
And she's certainly won enough matches this year to get her ranking back from outside the top 70 back into the top 25. In 2002, she lost in the second round, which was not the Conchita Martinez we had been used to.
That's absolutely right. Conchita's just much more positive. She's just so solid on the clay. They've played a couple times. The last time was at Indian Wells, where Clijsters went easily, but they've never played on a clay court. And Conchita Martinez feels much more comfortable on this surface against any top-ranked player.
Kim Clijsters.
Point to start off the match for Martinez, who we're used to seeing play so far behind the baseline, but that's where she feels comfortable. That's where she gets her rhythm, her timing. One thing Patricia Tarabini told me about Martinez going into this match, that the one matchup she doesn't like in the match is the serve. That Kim Clijsters takes Conchita Martinez out wide on the deuce side all the time. Conchita likes to set up to hit her forehand from the backhand corner.
Tompkins.
And that was a perfect example of it in the last point. Clijsters pulling her out wide and then hitting to the open court.
30-15. Rained most of the morning in Paris. Just clearing up in time to be on schedule.
Conchita actually was rushing to get a little bit of a warm-up in at 11:30. She hit for 10 minutes, got to the court a little bit late.
Leighton Hewitt upset the other day to Tommy Robredo from 2 sets to love up, and now he can just play golf and watch his girlfriend for a few days and then get ready for grass courts and Wimbledon, defending champ there. A couple unforced errors from Clijsters on the forehand. One up the line when she was short in the court, and that last one cross court, deuce. On this court the other day against Maggie Maleva in the round of 16, love 6 was Clijsters' start.
Much better job. Getting a little topspin on the forehand. Forehand side has been the side that's been breaking down in her matches. I would think Conchita's going to pick on that side unless Clijsters starts to win more points on it.
Game point.
aggressive, Martinez. On that last point, look how far back Clijsters is. Turning the tables on Kim Clijsters with the swinging volley out of the air.
When Kim slides out wide like that with the open stance and the slice forehand desperation shot, let's face it, the opponent should move forward and take it in the air. Very seldom will Clijsters hit it back low and firm. Whoops, very windy today. But that's good because it pushed the rain out of the area. Clijsters gives Conchita Martinez a break point. And Conchita steps away from the baseline. Martinez prefers a slower tempo than Clijsters. So the veteran making sure that the play is to her tempo. Big turn from Martinez, and this is their last meeting just a few months ago at the Pacific Life Open.
It was on the hard courts. Conchita Martinez starting to play a little bit better this year, but Kim Clijsters was much more aggressive. She likes the speed of the court at Indian Wells, and Martinez all frustrated. It was a routine two-set win for Kim Clijsters, but she was really excited after this victory. That just shows you how much respect she has for the Conchita Martinez game.
Conchita Martinez 9 years ago won the Wimbledon championships on a grass court over Martina Navratilova in the finals in 3 sets. She's also been in the finals of the Australian Open and also here 3 years ago. Helped Spain win the Fed Cup a few times alongside Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Drop shot, so much spin, making that ball just die.
Here's Conchita wanting the ball back. We see this all the time from Martinez. She's has that superstition.
Oh, she's extremely superstitious on the court. If she wins a point, she will ask for the same ball.
That can hold up play too.
And if she wins too many points with the same ball, the ball can get extremely heavy.
Which is fine for her in this matchup.
Martinez saw the slice, saw the high ball. The high ball really doesn't affect Clijsters as much as some of the other players. She really took her time, let the ball drop.
And Clijsters seems to deliver more pace. That last one at 81 miles an hour, and there was no pace or very little pace on Martinez's ball that Clijsters hit for the winner. Clijsters has this big swing, and she really gets her whole body into the shot. Conchita's father.
Point by Martinez. We're seeing why she's in the quarterfinals again of the French Open. She's doing everything well. She's even sneaking in, using a little touch on the volley. Look how she hits across this backhand volley for the short drop shot winner.
And then she tracks that ball until it's back in her hands.
such a great matchup because they're both trying to do the same thing out there. They're trying to use their forehand to control the points, move each other around the court, pin each other behind the baseline, sneak in whenever possible. It's who can execute it first.
Conchita Martinez's forehand used to be known as a very powerful forehand. It still has decent power, but in today's game, it's slipped down the ladder as far as power shots.
From both players early on. Kim sees Conchita way behind the baseline, goes for the drop shot. I think we're going to see a lot of drop shots throughout this match from both players.
And you can see some of the Roland Garros clay on the ball. That's again because of the moisture, the back of the court, the tarp. Those balls are getting wetter and heavier than normal. And this court's been playing slower than the others. And that you would think would favor Martinez. Great point. Players trading breaks in the first 2 games. And Mary Jo, who has the edge?
Well, Clijsters definitely, because of the last 9 months, has the edge. They both have great forehands. They're different kind of forehands, but very aggressive. They try to move their opponent around the court. Clijsters a much more solid backhand. The serve definitely goes to Clijsters. Return as well. Movement, Clijsters moves well, but again, Conchita Martinez loves to play on the clay. This is where she feels at home.
So you look at that list and you wonder, well, how can Martinez win this match? And she can because she's got so much experience, so much variety of shots. She can mix up the play. We've seen her come to net already more than we thought. Backed up. She wasn't in that poor of a position.
Should have stayed at the net. But Conchita Martinez playing great defense, and then look at this great feel. Cuts across that backhand. The spin just makes the ball stop.
That'll teach you from backing up. As far back as Martinez is in the court, let's face it, with heavy balls, she really needs to give that forehand a lot of lift. Last one, halfway up the net.
Clijsters is going to have to play her best match of the tournament to defeat Martinez. Martinez is going to get so many balls back. Can't afford to be streaky like she's been in her previous matches, Clijsters.
You say streaky, but it seems to me all but one of the sets has been pretty solid. But you're saying even within the games, even though she's winning them, a lot of unforced errors?
Exactly. Martinez playing a lot closer to the baseline than we're used to. You see her results were easily on paper, 2 in love, 2 and 2, 2 and 1, but within those matches she had a couple ups and downs, and then in the last match against Maleva could not find her game until the second set.
Great serve out wide. Conchita Martinez didn't cut off the angle. Boy, and that serve is really struck with that slice out wide. You got to meet the ball. You got to go forward. 40-30. Clijsters, the number 2 seed, holds on to serve. 2-1 first set, quarterfinals.
Tonight at 7, Jim Rome with the...
From a couple of hours ago, it rained all morning long. Actually, a challenging morning in Paris. Some strikes going on, some transportation slowdowns. I think the teachers are still on strike, some air traffic issues. But the tennis players aren't on strike. Well, so about 4 or 5 people right behind Conchita in the first row are really struggling to get settled, and he's on a cell phone. So perhaps he should have taken care of his business before he got a front row seat.
Conchita Martinez with very solid results, getting to the quarterfinals. Straight set victories. Davenport in the round 16 was up a set and 2 love before Davenport had to retire with a toe injury. But Conchita Martinez was in control of that match from the beginning. She had the belief that she was going to beat Davenport.
Oh, there is one of the Conchita Martinez tosses that is, about a foot lower than it should be, and that was extraordinary, that one. She tried to throw that one higher. She knew that the 1-2 ago just was not acceptable, even by her low standards.
And we've seen Conchita Martinez get the yips on her serve in the last 3 years. That ball toss has gotten lower, more to her right. Big problem with the toss.
She had a real stiff neck for a while, which she thought maybe was inhibiting her toss. I mentioned how Conchita Martinez was running late going into this quarterfinal. It was an unexpected clearing of the skies at about a half hour before the match was scheduled, and she was totally unprepared to go out and practice and had to cut shorter practice. And even though she started the match breaking serve, she looks a little unsettled right now.
She was definitely stressed out running to practice, knew she could only hit for about 10 minutes. They have indoor courts on site, but she did not want to go indoors and run the risk of losing her rhythm. Late call on the sideline. Shot spot clearly wide.
And break point for Clijsters. Another break of serve, 3-1. Clijsters.
Big runner up the line by Martinez. Kim Clijsters on clay. Her strengths are her movement, covers the court so well, really on any surface. She looks to hit her forehand. She's always very positive. Weaknesses, sometimes she will go through concentration lapses, get streaky on the court.
0-30.
Always very positive, except for about a year ago when Kim came into this championship. She was the defending finalist. She felt the burden of that. She wasn't playing well. She'd had an arm stress reaction for much of the first part of last year, and she played a miserable French Open. And even worse at Wimbledon.
15-30.
And Mary Jo, it was the only time on the court that I had seen Clijsters unhappy, because generally speaking, she just has a wonderful sort of aura. Her whole body language is very positive.
But she got through it. She worked her way out of it. And now the last 9 months, she's been so consistent. This year, she's gone through to the semis or better, winning 3 titles.
Ooh, that was close. Let's see if Shot Spot agrees.
Well, it gets any closer than that.
Yeah. I would say if Shot Spot was making the call, it would be good. But she's not. I just made her feminine for this match.
Of course.
Seen a lot of break points early. Another one here. There's the forehand of Conchita Martinez. It did a lot of damage in the 90s, and it's still damaging in 2003.
Than ever.
Scores in double figures in 28 straight playoff games. Wow. Again, that's Wednesday at 8 Eastern.
Jersey trying to win their first NBA title. Martinez has extreme grips on both her forehand and backhand. You'll see her shank quite often throughout matches.
Ooh, just long.
15.
Close calls early on in this first set. Conchita Martinez loves to play on the clay. Her forehand's her big weapon. She's got variety. She can high balls, slice, angles, drop shots. She's been playing on the surface for over 15 years. Her serve is her biggest weakness, that ball toss. And the fitness is better, but still the stamina is a question mark when Conchita Martinez plays. Trouble again on serve for Martinez.
Yeah, the servers yet to find their rhythm. Cheetah trying the drop shot there. You could tell by her eyes, wasn't going to make it. Not the best start for the server. Clijsters up 4-2. Boy, didn't think we'd see this kind of scene a few hours ago. The sun is out. Court Susan Langlong getting more and more filled up.
Clijsters was thrilled a couple hours before the match, knowing that she was first up on Susan Longland. She wanted to get her match in.
So a lot of people probably thought Venus Williams was still the #2 player in the world before this French Open, and for obvious reasons you can see why Kim Clijsters has moved ahead of Venus. Mentioned her great quality of results this year. How much the loss down in Australia from 5-1 up 2-match points as we look at the last point. Losing to Serena Williams has affected Clijsters.
I think it's affected her a lot. You see a little cat and mouse between Kim and Conchita. She's had trouble closing out the big matches. That one catches the tape. She lost to Anna Arden at the German Open, having had 3 match points. She was in the finals of Scottsdale against Sugiyama, served for the match, got tight, so it's definitely something that's in the back of her mind.
Couple of points now for 5-2, and since October of 02, and that was the month before the WTA Tour Championships in Los Angeles, where Clijsters defeated Venus in the semis and Serena in the finals to take her biggest title. She has just been so consistent, never losing before the semifinals, winning 3 titles, finals of 3 others.
Lost 5 matches this year, and 2 of those she held match points against Serena in Australia, 2 match points, 5-1 up in the 3rd, and then Anna Arden in the Berlin final, 3 match points.
Should have beaten Sugiyama in the finals of Scottsdale. She was the heavy favorite. And Clijsters finds herself in the half now with nobody else in the top 20 in the world. She's up 5-2 first set.
Shave with Norelco Advantage with moisturizing gel. It prevents nicks and cuts. Use Spectra and you can personalize it for comfort. So now there are 2 ways to achieve close shaving satisfaction. As you can see. Ultra close, ultra comfortable, guaranteed.
Is this your idea of extended stay? Villager has a better idea for travelers feeling a little confined. By the day or extended stay, Villager is your address for comfort and value. Call 1-800-328-STAY.
You gelling?
No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling?
I'm gelling like a felon.
Quit yelling, we're gelling.
Right.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make any shoe feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's.
Look, Steph. It's adorable. Hi there. Hi, what kind is it?
It's a mix, actually. Part charcoal, part gas.
Does it do any tricks?
Yeah. Actually, it switches from gas to charcoal in just a few seconds.
Listen, Steph and I are having a party tonight. Why don't you stop by?
The Charbroil 2-in-1 Charcoal Gas Grill. It's man's new best friend.
What a chick magnet.
Last November, the top 16 in the world qualified for the year-end championships. This year, it'll be the top 8. And these 2 players, Serena Williams and Kim Clijsters, will be there.
Clijsters had defeated Venus in the semifinals, even though Venus had an injury. She'd win that and play Serena, who had a long 3-set match against Capriati, was a little bit tired for this final, but Kim Clijsters, she had a great attitude. She moved Serena side to side, played great defense, and whenever possible, turned it around to play offensively. See Serena a little fatigued with her arm, but Clijsters, what a great performance. Really controlled the points, stayed on that baseline, and would win her biggest tournament in her young career.
They would play just a couple of months later down in Australia, and Clijsters should have had her second win over Serena in a row. Came within 1 point 2 different times. Also helping Clijsters in Los Angeles last year was an amazing 3-set win by Serena over Capriati in the semis the day before that final, where Clijsters had a default in the first set from Venus.
Clijsters looking for her first Grand Slam title. She's been in the final of the French 2 years ago. Of course, Serena with the last 4. Venus Williams, 2 Wimbledons, 2 U.S. Opens, and Anna Arden-Maresmo. This is the tournament. This is where they believe they can win their first.
And they've both been to finals before also. Anna Arden at Wimbledon, losing to Venus 2 years ago. And Maresmo, the 99 Australian Open, losing to Hingis in Hingis's last win. So it's interesting in the women's quarterfinal draw that you have Conchita Martinez, 1 major, and Serena with her 5 as the only 2 that have won majors. And that's very unusual in women's tennis, to have that little experience at winning these tournaments in the final 8. That's because of no Capriati, no Davenport, no Celis, no Venus.
While on that forehand, 40 love Martinez. Well, we lost 3 top Americans 2 days ago. And you wonder if that puts a little added pressure on Clijsters, knowing that she now is definitely the favorite to get through to the final.
Oh, there's one of those low tosses this time. Martinez quick enough to not hit it. And you have to be quick because it's such a quick action and low toss. Photographer moving. Photographer pit pretty close to the court.
Jumping all over that high spinny ball from Martinez. Clijsters knows she has to be very alert playing against Martinez. Martinez hitting with so much spins. Sometimes those spins land short in the court. Have to be ready to move your feet up to the ball. Just said my serve. Struggling with the serve.
Looked like it might be an easy hold. 40 love, now 40-30.
She's just winning so few points on either first or second serve.
Looking to hold serve for the first time. See this low toss. The other thing is it doesn't clear the net by a whole lot. We've seen a couple of net cords on this side already in this game. And when she's not extending, she really pulls them down into the net way too much.
Well played by Clijsters, having to construct the points well against Martinez. She's being patient. She's waiting for the right opportunity to hit the right shot. Sees that Martinez is so far back. Goes for the drop shot.
Montage Mademoiselle Martinez.
Tough shot to hit from 7 feet behind the baseline. Change the direction of the ball. Hit it up the line.
Another chance for her to hold her first service game. Clijsters does not work her way to net more. She's such a good athlete. She plays a lot of doubles with Sugiyama, but in singles, we don't see this too often.
And her technique is good on the volleys. Keeps her racket head up. Good angle on that last one. You have to wonder with that serve how Conchita was able to win the '94 Wimbledon. It actually became quite effective, that low ball toss and the sliding out wide. Remember Davenport lost to her that year and she said, I couldn't handle the sneaky low serve.
Rallies of this quarterfinal so far. Clijsters coach Mark DeHoos is now going to watch a set point. Martinez again fails to hold on to serve. Clijsters 6-2 for second.
Amelie Mauresmo. Should be a lot of fun. Andre Agassi will also play his quarterfinal match today, Mary. As we talk about the men's side of the draw, we got 4 Spaniards in the quarters. That's a first. You got a couple of South Americans. The big serving Verkerk. What's he doing in there? And Mr. Agassi, of course.
Not exactly how the seating committee planned it, is it? No. A couple of interesting things happened, especially Tommy Robredo, a quarterfinalist here. I mean, this guy knocked out the #1 seed, Leighton Hewitt, and he also knocked out Gustavo Kirten, the 3-time winner here in 15th seed. So that's what he's doing there. On the bottom half, Ferrero was supposed to be playing Andy Roddick, but he was very much overseeded at #6 here, and he's long gone. On the other side, where Verkerk is, that's where Roger Federer, the #5 seed, was supposed to be. So, yeah, there have definitely been some surprises. What this means, basically, there's, you know, who's going to step up? I mean, it is kind of open in there. There are big opportunities for some of the smaller players to shine, and it'll be interesting to see who comes on through.
Agassi said the other day, anytime you play a guy on clay who speaks Spanish and Portuguese, it's going to be a tough match. He's got nothing but Spanish speakers in his future if he can get by the pesky Guillermo Coria coming up quarterfinal inside the Chatrier Stadium. Back now, Kim Clijsters and Conchita Martinez battling a spot in the women's semis. Back to Pam Shriver and Mary Jo Fernandez.
Well, thanks, Chris and Mary. First couple of points of the second set, 15 all. Kim Clijsters serving. She certainly finished that first set in neat fashion, looking far the more confident, particularly on serve.
Clijsters has been able to control the tempo of the match. Even though she got down an early break, she came back right away. She's committing very few unforced errors, less than she has in her previous matches. Playing much more within herself and picking the right shot to go for, waiting for that shorter opportunity.
Well, we mentioned that Kim Clijsters, seated #2 in the lower half, is just surrounded by players ranked outside the top 20. The 2 Russians that are playing fabulous tennis, beating Venus and Capriati, and then Conchita. And you mentioned, Mary Jo, that adds to the pressure for the #2 seed.
But it also has to help Kim Clijsters to know that perhaps she won't have to face 2 Williams sisters. No sure thing that Serena's going to beat Mauresmo, but still knowing in the past that you have to get through 2 of them to win a Grand Slam. is much tougher.
40 ans.
Another chance there for Martinez to get on the scoreboard. She's having a little trouble closing out games the last few.
Avantage, Men's Clijsters.
Such great disguise on the drop shot of Kim Clijsters. She's used that shot effectively throughout the match in the first set. Conchita started off strong, trying to move Kim Clijsters, but Kim Clijsters, she's really been the one controlling the points off both the forehand and the backhand. Martinez so far behind the baseline, not only to return serve, but during the rallies, it's Clijsters who's able to take the initiative in the points and get away with the drop shot, pushing her opponent so far back. Martinez struggling on serve. Clijsters just looking much more confident, much more at ease on the court, playing the big points extremely well.
Well, Conchita is just desperate to start to serve better. It was as bad a service set as you can have. Starts off the second horrendously as well. She only won 9 points on her serve the entire set. Never held serve despite leading 40-love in one game.
She's just really trying to get it in. And Clijsters is being able to hit that returner serve and start off the point in offensive position.
4 of those 9 points that she won on serve was in her last service game when she was trying to hold for 5-3.
Way off with that last service.
Well, serving into the sun, but she's not, doesn't even look up high enough.
From Kim Clijsters, who's going to turn 20 on June 8th, leave her teenage years. Martinez saving one break point.
15-40.
But the drop shot just hasn't been as effective for Martinez.
That's Kim's mom, Els, who used to be a top-level gymnast in the middle there. And her dad, one of the great soccer players in Belgium.
Little sister is quite a tennis player, playing the juniors here last year, just turned 18. Kim looking forward to perhaps playing some doubles with her on the women's tour.
Quite an athletic family. This one, though, is just one step away from being at the top of women's tennis. It's a big step, mind you. But the last 6 months, her record, outstanding.
She was letting a little frustration out on that overhead.
Well, she started off this game with 2 double faults, and you got to give her some credit just to compete in this service game well enough to get it back to deuce.
Mademoiselle Martinez.
Went up too soon on that forehand. The left hip came across way too early, pulling it wide.
Well, she's battled so far. She has another game point to hold serve for the first time. Her last service game, she had 4 chances to hold.
Égalité.
Becomes a mental war as well. I mean, obviously, physically, she doesn't have the ability to have the big weapon for a serve. But now it seems like those kind of unforced errors of her favorite shot on game point. The serve is dragging her whole game down a little bit.
And she's starting to feel the pressure that if she doesn't do something immediately in a rally, Clijsters will have her side to side like a windshield wiper.
Avantage Mademoiselle Martinez.
But as you mentioned, Mary Jo, Clijsters can be pretty streaky, so Conchita's experienced enough to know that she's just got to hang around and hope that Clijsters has a bad patch. Conchita's serve improves slightly, and the next thing you know, it's a different match.
Martinez going to the drop shot way too many times, particularly because she hasn't set up the big offensive shot to get Clijsters on her heels. Clijsters reading it immediately, gets her with plenty of time, keeps her racket head in front of her. Ball got close to her, but she guides it well down the line.
Yeah, close to her, and just that short little swing.
We saw Robredo from Spain yesterday against Kirtan use the drop shot so effectively, but because his forehand was on, he was hitting so many winners off of it. It was great disguise. Martinez needs to put a few more points like that to open up the door for the possibility of the drop shot. Get Clijsters thinking that you're going to play aggressively, hit the ball heavy deep in the court. All right. I'm not going to repeat or translate that.
So you could read the lips. And
yes.
All right. Well, you can tell me during the next commercial break privately.
I think you can guess.
Yes. No joy at all on serve so far.
Avantage Mademoiselle Martinez.
About the 7th game point in the last 2 service games, and a lot of unforced errors, opportunities. Renee Stubbs to the left, top doubles player.
Who's that handsome fella on the right-hand screen there?
Top right. Don't do that, George. It's my husband. Watching Kim Clijsters, who's about his favorite tennis player right now.
Another missed opportunity for Martinez. Trying to get very frustrated with herself. She's had the points put away. Just hasn't been able to execute.
Well, I know she's frustrated because I'm frustrated
for her. though, Kim Clijsters has made some unforced errors in this game. She's hung in there, and that's what she's been doing well this first week of the major. On the run, whips the cross-court forehand, hits outside of the ball. She's so fired up. She's been competing so well for every single point, even when she's had a few lapses.
Clijsters is, though, even though she lost that point, some of her moves and her stretches, extraordinary.
She's so strong. She's built so well and flexible at the same time. I love when she slides and it's almost a split. Scares me when it's on the hard courts, though.
Maybe if Martinez didn't take the ball from the winning point on her game points, maybe if she just
changed that up,
changed up her superstition, she might hold serve. Conchita Martinez as she holds serve for the first time. The speeds of the two quarterfinalists here. Clijsters is racing ahead in the green, coming up way in the back, yellow. Conchita Martinez just shows you that even when Conchita serves hard, for her it's like 91 miles an hour, where Clijsters got a lot more on it.
Another drop shot attempt by Martinez. Clijsters is serving at an average of 98 miles an hour on her first serve. Martinez 87. It's a big difference.
She saved 4 break points and had a whole bunch of game points.
Double-handed backhand is her solid shot. She changes the direction of the ball so well on her back foot. Gets that left hand to do the work.
You mentioned the left hand and the importance it plays on the two-handed backhand. You saw Serena Williams warming up earlier for a big quarterfinal against Emily Mauresmo. The very heavily strapped left arm. Kim Clijsters, her movement is a key to her success. She moves forward well and side to side, and she's had to move forward a lot for some Conchita Martinez torturous drop shots.
Meanwhile, in Albuquerque, the CFO of a burgeoning olive import company has an epiphany. By eliminating 1 olive from every jar of olives they sell, he could save the company $200,000. An idea so well received that he is asked to save $500,000 more.
There you go, Mr. Carter. Hard to believe a phone can save us $1 million, huh?
Knocks out weeds in 24 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Roundup Fast Act Foam knocks out weeds in 24 hours.
Come on in, Derek. I thought we discussed this thing and had it all worked out. You're our starting shortstop. How can you possibly afford to spend 2 nights dancing, 2 nights eating out, and 3 nights just carousing with your friends? Oh.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broome Street Bar don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Finally, a place for all your sports gear. The new Rubbermaid Sports Station. It gives new meaning to the term organized sports.
Kim Clijsters, number 2 seed, up 6-2, 2-1. She's in the half of the draw where no one else inside the top 20 is around, and Clijsters has only lost once this year to anybody outside the top 4. And that was to Ai Sugiyama in the finals of Scottsdale. So is she drop shotting too much?
I think she is. It's not like she's playing someone across the net who's slow or anything. Clijsters is waiting for that drop shot. She's looking for it. Part of Martinez's game plan was to get Clijsters to move in by using angles. But I think she's getting a little carried away with the drop shot.
Martinez.
Martinez did a heck of a job just staying in the point early and gave herself an opportunity with her favorite shot, the forehand.
Because of Clijsters' speed, though, it forces you to go for something extra special.
Break point for Clijsters. It's broken every time except once. Hit the winner. Conchita Martinez loses serve again. And where they are in position for the return of serve, the difference is extraordinary. Here is Kim Clijsters. The green ones are second serves, but even the first serve, she's not that far behind the baseline. Now, flip it around, and Conchita Martinez and her return, Mary Jo, well back.
Even to return the second serves. Only one return serve has come inside that baseline. But that's where Conchita plays. That's how she's won so many tournaments. 20 on the clay. But she is struggling on serve.
Only 2 free points or 2 missed returns by Clijsters. And you just can't survive at the very top level of women's tennis with a serve that's not at least a weapon upon occasion. And right now, Conchita Martinez has no weapon for a serve. It's a liability. I mean, there's a nice free point from Clijsters. And a chance to hold serve easily, 40 love.
Conchita Martinez said during this tournament her goal is to get back in the top 10 of the women's game, and it's going to be just so tough for her with the serve and with how far back she plays. She can get away with it sometimes on the clay, but not on the faster surfaces.
Again, when you think about Martinez and all the majors that she might win, 94 Wimbledon. Kim Clijsters, the finalist here 2 years ago, is just a couple of games away from a semifinal berth.
America's most popular camera series is now digital. Introducing the all-new, all-weather, all-digital Stylus. Olympus. Nothing's impossible.
And in other news, the $300 million lottery winner has yet to come forward and claim their prize.
$300 million? What are these people thinking?
I have no idea.
Jim, where would you spend $300 million?
Well, I'd move someplace cooler. It is a scorcher out there.
Should really go collect that money.
It's hot outside.
Maybe it's too comfortable. American Standard air conditioning. Comfort from the brand you're already comfortable with.
How about you? Do you want to go out? I understand completely.
Sure, all these OTC and prescription allergy medicines are approved for pollen, but some are not approved for pet dander and dust. Others are not approved for smoke. Only Flonase is approved to relieve the nasal symptoms from all these triggers. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat. Ask your doctor about Flonase. For all these triggers, all it takes is Flonase.
The world's best gather at Olympia Fields to try and make their mark in a major and take down the Tiger. The 2003 U.S. Open, Miss a Hole and Miss History. Live coverage begins Thursday, June 12th at 11 Eastern on ESPN.
Live, unscripted, intense, the NBA Finals. Tim Duncan, two-time MVP, versus Jason Kidd, franchise savior. Nets, Spurs, Game 1, Wednesday night at 8 Eastern on ABC and SportsCenter after the game. We got who?
10 acres, 23 courts, 35,000 pounds of iron, 91,000 gallons of water.
All adds up to a ton of fun at the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club.
Smash, splash, squash, crunch.
Or lunch. The San Diego Tennis and Racket Club has it all.
Featuring the Angel Lopez Tennis Academy.
Family-friendly classes.
Excellent child care.
And great social events.
Become a member today.
The San Diego Tennis and Racket Club.
Since 1980, it's been the place to be. Call 619-275-3270.
Valley Transmission, can I help you? Greg? He's on a road test.
After 37 years of rebuilding transmissions, road testing is still the most fun.
At Valley Transmission, we work on all types of cars and even offer a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty. Our professionals use only the latest and state-of-the-art equipment and have been providing quality work and service for over 20 years. So if you have a slip, drip, or funny shift, give the pros a call at Valley Transmission.
The rise of the two Belgians in women's tennis, Kim Clijsters and Justine Henin-Ardenne, has been spectacular the last few years. Which one will win their first major first? Got to figure both are going to win at least one at some point. Both are still in here, quarterfinal day. Clijsters 2 games away from a win over Conchita Martinez, the former finalist.
Capriati 12-10 the third, and she's played some really close semifinals. The most recent one against Serena, where she was up 5-1 in that third set, held 2 match points before losing. And I really thought the way Clijsters won the
WTA Tour Championships in Los Angeles in early November, one in Sydney the week before the Australian Open. I thought it was set up for her perfectly to go ahead and finish that semifinal against Serena.
15-30.
Shows you how tough Serena Williams has been through this fantastic slam run. Trying to win her 5th in a row here, but boy, what a tough quarterfinal for Serena against Mauresmo, who beat her a couple of weeks ago.
Two break points.
Pretty much a mismatch. Conchita Martinez came into this quarterfinal full of belief.
She really did. I mean, I talked to her coach before the match, Patricia Terabini, a former WTA Tour player from Argentina, and she said, she's going to win this match. I said, you're that confident? And she said, yeah, she's been playing great. She's fit, she's moving well, and this is where she feels her best.
Well, I go back to the fact that Martinez was not ready to come out onto this court. She was rushed. She came out still about 15 minutes late. Clijsters had been ready. She'd had her full preparation, but because of the rain and the unexpected halt half hour before scheduled time, Conchita was caught off guard, and that should not happen for someone who's been around on the tour for as long as Conchita's been.
That's such a good point, Pam, because she was flustered. She was stressing out about having to go hit just half hour before this match. And she's played here enough to know that if it stops raining, these courts are covered and you're going to go on time.
I think it's important to point out when there is rain at all the 4 majors except for the Australian Open if the roof's covered. But the point is you have to expect to play sooner on red clay than any of the other majors because all the others take longer to dry. I mean, you can even play in the rain some on clay, unlike the other 3. 15-30.
Clijsters 2 points away as Leighton Hewitt looks quite serious.
It's Leighton's mom to Leighton's left. Still to come, Emily Mauresmo seeded 5. That is such a tough quarterfinal. Serena's draw, considering she's won in the world and done what she's done in the last 12 months, couldn't be any tougher for her.
Mauresmo just beat Serena a few weeks ago at the Italian Open in 3 sets. So she's got that belief that she can beat her. We'll just see here, being the crowd favorite, whether she can hold up with the nerves.
Clijsters ended up beating Mauresmo in the finals of the Italian. Showing you the advantage of a big first serve. Brings her to match point.
It looks so much bigger compared to Martinez's. First double fault of the match for Clijsters.
Mademoiselle Clijsters.
Martinez just not able to hurt Clijsters enough today off the ground.
Another match point. A short day of watching for Leighton Hewitt as his girlfriend loses only 3 games in the quarterfinals.
It was a fabulous performance by Kim Clijsters. Crowd appreciates how well she played. This is the best she's played all tournament long. Played within herself, constructed the points well. She was patient. She ran down all the drop shots Martinez threw at her. And I'm very happy and pleased Kim Clijsters.
And she was the one that was more prepared going into the quarterfinals. She awaits the winner of the 2 Russians.